All right, so you go about 2 minutes from the end. Hit play, and let's see what it says.
In the United States of combating and going after terrorists, at the same time protecting our constitutional freedoms. Are you in favor of increasing the amount of, shall we say, leeway the FBI and other law enforcement have to go after the cyber world? We've seen encrypted messaging apps. We've heard about now this ISIS proclamation, if you will, on Telegram, an encrypted messaging app. Is it time now to reset how we look at the handcuffs on the FBI?
Absolutely. I mean,
Good.
I've long felt that we need to be more aggressive in the
answer.
cyber world and more aggressive in our communications in terms of helping to counter extremist ideologies. But look, what I'm really worried about is the more we draw this line, the more violence, more it's Muslim versus Christian, the more hatred. I mean, the 3 people who got stabbed in Portland.
All right, you can stop that. This is what he's really worried about is this Muslim hate and the Christian hate. These pussies always thinking that we're provoking everything because this hate, this is crazy. Like, this isn't the Hatfields and the McCoys. This is the Hatfields and the Johnsons. And every once in a while, the Johnsons push back, but not very often. This is more about the Hatfields than it is about the Johnson family. And this thing of turning it into they always turn it into the same thing. Well, yeah, they're killing people. Where you got to understand, we're killing people. It's a way to never solve any problem ever. But listen to what this irresponsible pussy, Adam Smith, Washington Congressman, just listen to his take on the problem with ISIS and people being stabbed and run over in vans on bridges. Here we go.
And 2 deaths there, that is an indication of the violence on the other side.
Well,
of people who want to take.
All right, just rewind it for a second, Garrett. It's a little tough, but he's like, hey, don't blame ISIS. There was a nut job who stabbed someone on a train who was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Here we go.
To reset how we look at the handcuffs on the FBI.
Absolutely. I mean, I've long felt that we need to be more aggressive in the cyber world and more aggressive in our communications in terms of helping to counter extremist ideologies. But look, what I'm really worried about is the more we draw this line, the more violence, more it's Muslim versus Christian, the more hatred. I mean, the 3 people who got stabbed in Portland are, and 2 deaths there. That is an indication of the violence on the other side.
Well,
of people who want to take.
That's a fucking retard. He's dangerous.
In fairness, Congressman, that is a rare event and had widespread condemnation.
It's not as rare as you would, as many people say. The 2 Sikh people who were shot in Kansas. There's the Planned Parenthood clinic that was attacked. There are numerous Jewish centers that have been attacked. There's the Oklahoma City bombing.
From 25 years ago, that one, you fucking asshole.
None of these have a common thread of an extremist ideology that's funded by governments in the Middle East.
I don't think that. Look, the last part is true. They absolutely have a common thread of an extremist ideology.
No, none of these people listen to the same hate
Can I tell you what the common thread
is? Here it is.
Please.
Everyone's sitting.
The common thread is racism and fear of people who don't look like you, and belief that all Muslims threaten us, all people of color threaten us.
All people of color threaten us.
That's a common thread.
It's a common thread. This guy's a fucking irresponsible pussy. I cannot believe these people get voted into fucking office. No. Hey, Adam Smith, hypocrite, douche, Adam Smith, Washington Congressman. We have a fear of people that look different than us. Who looks more different than Eastern Indian people? Does anyone have a fear of Eastern Indian people? They don't look anything like us. They seem very different. Asians are different. A lot of people that are different. This scared of people that don't. It's such a cop-out. It's an intellectual cop-out. And everything has to be the race card. They never stop trotting out this race card. Scared of people of color.
Well, I hope you're going to
scared of all people of color. Scared of people that look different than you. What a fucking intellectual retard this Adam Smith is.
Well,
look different. How come if it's look different that it doesn't cover all the races?
I don't know.
It's black people, Muslim, and it's just, you got to rewind that for Garrett. I'm just going to make me pissed off. It pisses me off. These guys are representing us. Rewind it. These guys are representing us, and this is what comes out of their mouth.
Are you in favor of increasing the amount of, shall we say,
but that's all right. These dickheads, every time there's a goddamn terrorist attack, these pussies, and by the way, I will go stupid or liar. This thing is, but the real problem is us here in the West and our fear of people that are different than us. It's 2017, you asshole. Nobody thinks that way. And if they do, they're storing canned goods in Montana underground. This thing, we have to blow this thing out of proportion all the time. Well, we're just as bad as they are because, we're scared of people of color. We're scared. We hate people that are different than us. You can't live in this country in 2017 and be scared of people that look different than you. Everyone looks fucking different. Look at Max Pat over there. Fearful. Play this retards thing one more time. It drives me nuts. And again, his guy needs to be booted out of office because he either believes this or he's lying.
Wait a second. Booted out of office? Have you been to Washington? Have you been to Portland?
That's true.
I mean, come on. Give me a break.
All right. Play it. Let's see.
But look, what I'm really worried about is the more we draw this line, the more violence, more it's Muslim versus Christian, the more hatred. I mean, the 3 people who got stabbed in Portland are, and 2 deaths there. That is an indication of the violence on the other side.
Well,
who want to take.
In fairness, Congressman, that is a rare event and had widespread condemnation.
It's not as rare as as many people would say. I mean, there were the two Sikh people who were shot in Kansas. There's the Planned Parenthood clinic that was attacked. There are numerous Jewish centers that have been attacked. There's the Oklahoma City bombing. It's really not as rare as you say it is.
Well, but none of these have a common thread of an extremist ideology that's funded by governments in the Middle East.
I don't think that. Look, the last part is true. They absolutely have a common thread of an extremist ideology.
No, none of these people listen to the same hate
Can I tell you what the common thread is?
Please.
The common thread is racism and fear of people who don't look like you, and belief that all Muslims threaten us, all people of color threaten us, and we have to stand up against them. That's a common thread, and one that we need to be worried about.
No, it's not a common thread. It's something we need to be worried about. This thing is all Muslims, all people of color. What an insanely racist statement for Adam Smith, Washington Congressman, to make. What a douche. What an intellectual midget. Look, does he really think this way? Does he really think that there's a large segment of this society that just believes all Muslims are terrorists and are scared of all people who look different than they do and or are of color?
I think, though, he does believe that you should not point out. It's just like no winners, no losers. I think I'm not on the right or left, but I think this is the kind of rhetoric it makes it impossible to really address the problem.
Well, so one step closer to solving the terrorism problem, or where are we at? Or do we all have to just go home and take a long look in the mirror and admit that we don't always look at people the same way?
No.
What a douche. Look, I know you guys are young, and I know you probably agree with this guy half the time, but this guy's a lying douche, right? Like, what an asshole.
I agree with that guy.
People get stabbed on a bridge, and he's trying to do this. Hey, we're just as bad as they are. Yeah. Like, what is that impulse? What percentage of this society is just scared of people that look different than you?
Well,
nobody is that way.
Well, but you got to remember that he's playing to a very specific group of people in a specific district in Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his audience.
I get it. You guys, Gary, for fun, you guys should watch Bill Clinton in 1995 do his State of the Union thing where he's talking about, hey, we got to beef up the border. You come over here, you don't get welfare. You come over here, you can't take American jobs. This is America. You come over here, you're illegal, you're undocumented, you're going back. Yeah. That's the way it is because you can't take services, you can't take food stamps, you can't take work away from American people. And it's like, oh, that was him, 1995. So that's what 48-year-old Bill Clinton believed, and now it's like, hey, this is sanctuary city. Like, all right, so did you change your belief, or are you trying to get votes? I'm going to go with trying to get votes, because you were 50 years old, and you put the hammer down about no illegal immigration, and no taking jobs away, and no putting them on the welfare rolls, and none of this, and now it's a completely different story. So what happened?
You know what you want at 50.
Yeah. He knew. He was speaking what you're speaking the truth at 50. Now it's just a completely different thing because you're trying to get votes, which is fine. Just could you be intellectually honest and go, we're going for votes here?
I can't wait to see your Safe Spaces final.
Oh, you're going to love it.